Aloha, everyone. Michelle Melendez with Blossom Inner Wellness and StandTogetherHawaii.com. And I am super excited because I get to interview again 33-year fire captain Matt Dakin. And Matt, it's just so nice to have you on again. And I'm super excited about not just this video, but the next one we're going to be doing, which you guys are definitely going to want to watch both of these. So thanks for being here.
Thank you, Michelle. It's an honor and a privilege. I love to get this information, especially about taking our power back and how to do that.
Absolutely. Amen to that. So I just have 3 questions for you about the Maui fires. So the first one is about toluene. Toluene is it's a substance that is in permanent markers, it's a substance in glue, and it's also a substance in TNT, dynamite. And it is found in the Maui now it is found in the Maui drinking water. And they say that, it's found in traces that are still okay to drink. It's still okay to drink this water. But is that a normal thing after a fire to have toluene in the drinking water?
No, it's not a normal thing anytime. So I would need more information to know where the water supply comes from. Does it come from the burned area, the area that was affected by the burn? I would need more
Well, it
information.
is in Lahaina. It's in the Lahaina area that got burned.
Yeah. So
Mhm.
absolutely not. Toluene is poisonous, and anytime they say, oh, it's under the limits where it's okay for you, there's not such a thing. Poison is poison. If it's poisonous to organic material, to our cells, it's poisonous even on a minute level. It's just going to take more to actually kill you, but it's all bad for you.
Yeah, yeah. The other 2 questions the second question I have is about the charred bodies. Now I'm going to do a screen share and show this, and I hope it comes across. Let me know, Matt, if you can see this in a moment. Start broadcast. Okay, let me see if I can find this. It's a picture. Yeah, it is right here. Can you see my screen coming up?
I cannot. I just see your name.
Oh, you just see my name. Okay, so I won't do a screen share then. Um, it's the picture of, and I'm going to post the link to the picture in the description so you guys can see it for yourselves if you're watching this and you want to see what picture I'm talking about. It's a picture of the dead dog, and the dog looks just frozen, and his full body is there and his hair is there, but he's dead. And he's right in the middle of like a whole burn area. So he literally, like, what is that a normal way to find a pet that has been burned to death?
Absolutely not. And if you just think about common sense, if during a fire you're trying to escape the heat, or the heat and the smoke, you're trying to escape it, and you're not gonna, nobody should be found in the middle of the street on their side. We as people, you're going to do everything you can to protect yourself, to minimize the pain and discomfort if you're actually burning alive. And so, people go in position, you're going to shield yourself. You're going to get behind a building, behind an object. You're going to get somewhere, but it's not going to be in the middle of a street. If the same picture I saw,
yeah,
all its legs were sticking straight out.
Yep.
And it looked like a stuffed teddy bear, burned stuffed teddy bear,
Yeah.
or something, because
Charred, yeah.
it was. And that is absolutely not what would happen. What that looks like is an instantaneous death.
Yeah.
If it's where maybe the dog was running down the street and something happened to it instantaneously, and so it kind of got frozen and burned right there as it was, or fell over, and so that's what it looks
but
like.
It still even had hair. It still had hair on it.
Again, yeah, well, that again points to burning from the inside out. Potentially it'd be interesting to look at that dog and look at the insides of it, and to see, so yeah, it does not, it's not something that I would ever expect
It's
to see
normal.
as a normal thing.
What is it? What is a normal way something like that would look if they're burned to death? A pet or a person? What would you see? Would you see a skeleton? Would you see skin? Would you see hair? What would you see?
If hot enough to kill them from burning. I mean, if you buy it of smoke inhalation and there wasn't that heat, then you could, you're still going to be somewhere where you're trying to get away from it, not in the middle of the road, most likely. So, and if it died because of the burns, then it would have kept burning. It went just looks like a full body there. Looks like it's full body. So yeah, I've
Would
only
it be ash then? It would just be ash?
yeah, I mean, yeah, if it's a normal fire, it would have burned up. If it burned to kill them and to burn, if that's what killed it was the burning of it, then why did it just stop? So I really, it's with limited information, it's hard to know, but there's nothing normal about seeing a dog charred with all its hair still there in the middle of a road, a charred dead dog. That is not something that is normal that you would expect to see from a normal fire. Absolutely not.
Thank you. Thank you. My last question for you is, how long does it normally take to find the cause of a fire? I know that they're saying it's because of HELCO, which is Hawaiian Electric, but there's there's just 6 fires at once, and in a way where it well, I remember the last video we did, and you said, because they actually had a burn circle. There was a burn circle around Lahaina, which last time we were talking, you said that's not normal as well. So I guess those are 2 questions.
Yeah. So typically a fire's cause is you only have to go back to the origin of the fire, where it started, and then you can find the cause. That's typically on a normal fire. So where did the fire come from? Where did it start, and where to go to? Where it started, that something caused it there originally, and then it burns. But so with this fire, there's way more questions than where did it start, but it sounds like it started multiple places. And so you'd have to look at each one of those ignition places where it started, however many different fires that came together. You'd have to look at each one of those and do an investigation on each one of those. But that's how you investigate a fire's cause and origin, is from where it started.
How long does that take? How long does that take normally to figure it out? Like a
If you
week
know
or
where
a
it
month?
started, it shouldn't take long at all. I mean, probably a couple of weeks. You're going to want to take samples, send them to the lab, depending on the situation, depending on how obvious it is of what started it, why it started. It might be immediate, depending on what your evidence is that's there. And then to your question about the circle. Yeah, I think one thing I didn't mention when you mentioned that, how it came in on a self circle. The thing that's not normal about that is what makes a fire go in a certain direction is the wind. So that's why fires burn from one way or to another. They burn in a typical direction. They typically don't burn inward like this, unless that's where the fuel is. They burn where the fuel is, and then they're being pushed by the wind. So wind doesn't go in 360-degree directions all at once. The wind wasn't blowing against itself. That's what it would have to do if it was wind driven. So it wasn't wind driven if it's doing this. If it's coming in like this, it's not wind driven because it's going in all directions. So it's the fuel. There's something about the fuel or something else that's making that area burn. There's something, but it's not wind that's doing that. Or there's some other factor where it wants to burn in and not outward. So again, very unusual, very suspicious, in my opinion.
Thank you so much. Yeah, so all of you, I know that there's all of us who have a brain cell in our head know that there's something not right with Maui fires. Not only that, but Canada's on fire. I heard Australia's on fire now. California's been burning. Tennessee, and then what happened in East Palestine. All of this stuff has been happening. And one of the first videos I did was Maui. I put down Maui was attacked. And so when we're looking at this and we're like, oh my gosh, is that possible? I know that a lot of people go, Michelle, you're crazy, you're a conspiracy theorist, but just look at the facts and then just start to think for yourself and understand that the mainstream media all of it is, they're owned by the same people, and we're actually going to be talking about that later. But I do want to end this video with a huge mahalo to you, and we're going to do another video, and we're going to be talking about the enslavement of humanity and how we're going to talk, especially America. We're going to be focusing on America and how America has been enslaved since well, actually thousands of years. That's a whole different topic, but basically the last 100 years, we're going to be talking about specifically how we got enslaved and how we can get out of that. So Matt, I just want to first say thank you for this first video, and we'll check over to the other one. And those of you, please check out Rumble. I think I am going to, depending on what we talk about, I'm going to see about keeping the second one on YouTube, do my best to do that. But if we go deep into some language that YouTube doesn't like, then I'm just going to move it to Rumble. So my Rumble channel link is below. And also the last thing I want to say is, please go to standtogetherhawaii.com, standtogetherhawaii.com. Click on join us. It's a link in the top hand side. You're going to get emails with these videos, as well as with step by step of how you can get out of the system and free yourself, because we are enslaved. And that is something we have to really understand. If you don't know you're a slave, you can't get out of it, so you have to know that. So Matt, thank you so much for this first video.
Thank you, Michelle. Thank you.